Hey everybody, Kyle, not your average finance guy. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something I heard today. 34 cents of every dollar earned goes to interest. That means that the banks are taking a third of your money. Think about that. You're going to work all week, you're working your ass off, and the banks get a third of it. And what do the banks do? I mean, yeah, some of the nicest people are at the bank. You know, I got some really good friends that work at the bank, but it's the top banks, it's the big banks that, man, they're taking all your money. Let's get that back, huh? I got an example for you today that I want to kind of go through and kind of takes a little different look at it. So let's jump into it here and show you what we got. So basically, what this is this is your income. This is your job, and I just threw some random numbers at it here. This really doesn't mean anything, but if this is a typical couple that brings in $7,000, what happens to your paycheck? You dump it all into the bank, right? So you dump that money into the bank, and then that all gets put right into your checking account. And then from there, you pay your mortgage, you got one credit card bill, you got second credit card bill, you got your truck payment, you got your car payment, and then here I just kind of said this is everything else. All right, you got your groceries, you got your utilities, and this is the junk drawer, who knows what. So $2,700 a month goes to that. We got $425 on the car payment, $785 on the truck, $300 on the credit card, $605 on this one, and $1,500 to the mortgage. And actually, this couple is doing great because you're supposed to, a good rule of thumb is to be able to save 10%. So they're literally $10 shy. And they're trying to save, so they're saving $690 a month, and they've got $15,000 saved at this point. So with this, just kind of want to go through a little example here of we've got $15,000 sitting in the bank making 0.0 nothing percent interest. Maybe you find something that's got a up to 4%. Great if you can, but it's usually kind of a slower deal. But if we take this 15,000 and we put it to work, let's see what we can do with it. So let's go to the next slide here. So what I did here is let's take this $15,000 that we saved and let's pay off this first credit card. All right. So we've got a $14,095 balance. We've still got about $1,000 left for our basic emergency fund, right? So with this basic emergency fund here, you got $1,000 of cash, but you've also got this credit card cash value is still available, right? Or cash value, sorry. The credit on that credit card is still available. So if something really comes up, I mean, it was $14,095, so you've got at least that much of a credit line. It's probably a $15,000 credit limit. So you've almost got $16,000 at your disposal if something really bad happens, So that's why a lot of people like, well, I'd like to have $15,000 in the bank and it makes me, sleep tight at night. Well, you still basically have access to that same money because you've paid that credit card off, and now you're not throwing away 21% interest to the big banks on this credit card. So I say let's get rid of that credit card, and then like I said, you're left with $995, and now you don't have to make this $600 a month payment every month. So now instead of saving the $690 that we were initially, remember we were saving almost 10%. Now we can dump our regular $690 that we're doing in that. We can add the $605 to it. So now we're adding $1295 to get this going as fast as we possibly can. Let's build that savings back up, right? So we do that for 7 months, say. All right. So in 7 months, we've got saved up to where are we at? We're at 10,060 after we save that much for 7 months. Now we got enough. Let's knock out that next credit card. Okay. So let's take the 9,000. We're going to take that from our savings here. We're going to dump that in the credit card here, and we are going to knock that out. That's 21% interest. And the $300 a month goes now back into our savings account. Okay. So it went from $12.95 a month now plus this $300 a month. Now we're up to $15.95 a month goes into our savings account. All right. And now since, let's see, that was $9,000 we had to pay to the credit card. Now we've got over $1,000 left in our emergency fund. And we've also got access to this $15,000 and this $9,000. We're not closing the credit card. We're just paying it off. You can still keep it. I actually recommend, get a cup of water, put those credit cards in the cup of water, put it in your freezer, and literally freeze it. If you need it, you can always get it out. You can chop the ice out. You can put it in the microwave. You got to do whatever you can do, but you can't just go buy it on some, you see some whim. You're drinking and see something on the TV late at night. You can't just go buy it quick. So help you a little bit there. All right, let's keep going. If you do that for a year, let's say we do that for a year, we're saving $15.95 a month. You get $21,000 saved up. You got 21 grand sitting in the bank, not really making any. Let's say you're making 4%. Who cares? It's still sitting in the bank. You know what the bank does with this money? They take that money and they loan it out to other people, for truck payments or credit cards at 20% interest, while they're paying you. Let's say they're paying you 5%, they're still loaning it out to other people, on the credit cards for 20 some, whatever it is. And for every dollar that they've got in here, they can loan out 9. Can you believe that? So they're loaning out dollars they don't even have. That's why there's always a big worry about a run on a bank and the FDIC insurance. If there's a run on the bank, if everyone goes to take their money out of the bank at the same time, it's not there. Okay, that's what the banks are banking on. So they're banking on those payments, everyone making those payments and everything. This house of cards just keeps on flowing. So, all right, in 1 year, we've got $21,000 saved up. We still got our car payment and our truck payment. I didn't do anything with this guy. I said we're still at $19,000. I'm taking the truck payment down. I'm kind of watching that. We're at month 49 of 86 on that payment there. So we'll keep going here. If you start your own bank, what I mean by this is it's the infinite banking policy, infinite banking concept. And basically, this is a whole life insurance policy, but even though insurance is in the name, we are not using it for insurance. Yes, if you die, there's a death benefit, but that's not why we're doing this. We're putting this policy together to use while we're living, okay? And what we're doing is we're taking all the money away from the bank, and we are trying to redirect it into our bank, okay? So we've got $21,000. We're going to buy a cash value policy. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it into our own bank, and then we're going to pay for that car. We're going to take a loan against that cash value, and we're going to pay off that car. Okay, so a loan against cash value to pay off the car. I said it was still $19,000. It's going to be less than that because we're already a year into it, but whatever. Conservative numbers. So now that we took a loan from our own bank, okay, we're not giving the money's not coming out of this bank anymore. Now the money's coming from our bank. All right. With that, we no longer have to make this payment that was down here for $425 a month. Now, instead of making that to the car payment out of the bank, we now make that payment from the bank. Yes, our income goes into our checking account, but as soon as that paycheck comes in, boom, our payment comes out just like we always did. Instead of sending it off to the bank, we now send that $425 along with our savings to our bank. Okay, so now the $15.95 that we were putting into our savings account and the $425 a month car payment now all go into our bank. So that equals $2,020 a month. And right here, when we do this, the first day that we can open the policy, and then within 30 days, you usually have access to 90% of that money. Okay. We've got another $3,000 cash value available. You can, like I said, you can usually borrow up to 90% of that. So we're going to pay that car off, and we're going to send our payment back into our bank. Okay. Let's keep on going. So 9 more months go by, and we're sending, 9 more months go by. We've got the cash value is paid off. Okay. We paid that car off free and clear. Okay. Let's go back. Remember, we were making our car payment over here. We took a loan out against this cash value for $19,000. All right. After we get that paid off, we're back up to even. All right. Now we can't put anything more back in here until, the 1 year marker is up. So what we got here is in 9 months, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the money back into our savings account. Our cash value is back up, and look here, the cash value is going up. So this goes up at about 5%. And it's the power of compound interest. Okay, this cash value is always going up because we started with $21,000 in there. That's where it starts from. Because we took a loan against the cash value, we didn't take the cash out. It's not like your savings account. Okay, when you take the cash out of this, right now, if say you got $2,000 in there, you're making whatever 4 or 5% on your $2,000. If that $2,000 is gone, you don't make anything. You make it on whatever the balance is. Where our own bank here, you continue that cash value continues to grow. Now, it's kind of like taking a loan against your house, okay, a home equity line of credit. If you've got your house is worth $200,000, but you owe $100,000, if you sell it for $200,000, you have to pay back the $100,000 that you owe, right? But it's still worth $200,000. That's kind of the way our bank is working here. So our bank is we're paid usually about 5% dividends. These are not guaranteed. There is a guaranteed rate that is paid. It's owned by a mutual company, and these companies have been paying dividends for like 150 years. They literally paid through the Great Depression. So if these banks can pay through the Great Depression, even though we can't say that it's guaranteed, I mean, you're probably going to get your money, right? So with that, you got their cash value is growing, and it's up to $22,076, and we're gonna put the excess into our savings account. All right, let's keep rolling here a little bit more. In 3 more months, okay, this is in all we're at 2 years 7 months. I got my little counter up here. So in 3 more months, we still got our income coming in. We had our $2,020 a month going into savings, and we saved that for 3 months. That went up to $6,060. Now our 1 year anniversary is up. It's time for the annual renewal of the $21,000 is needed. Okay, crap. What do? We only got $6,000 left, right? Well, let's use our bank, right? Okay, so we need $21,000. We took the $6,000 from savings, and we put that in there. That means we still need $14,940. Well, let's take a loan from our bank. So we take a loan from our bank, $14,940, and we make that renewal payment, right, for that new premium. So we've got the $21,000 of new premium needed. So that goes in, plus what our cash value was. So now we're up to $43,076 of cash value. And now this cash value is what you're earning interest on. Okay, now we're going to take a loan of $14,940 against the cash value. I remember I didn't sell my house to get a line of credit to get money out of my house. I'm borrowing against it. So it's still worth $43,000. I took about a $15,000 loan. If I want to go back for more, now I've got $28,136 available to me, but this number right here is the number that keeps growing at 5%. And this took me the longest time to figure out, but once you grasp this concept, this is where you start making some money, is right here, okay? Let's go on to the next one. All right, in 8 months, the loan is repaid, okay? We're still income going in, our mortgage is out, we're still making our truck payments, we're still paying everything else, and we've been doing, the month before, we were taking that $2,000 we're putting into savings, but since we've got a loan out against that, we put that $2,020 against that loan. We want to knock that loan down as fast as possible. All right. So in 8 more months, that loan is repaid, and we're at 3 years 4 months into this whole process now. All right, and we've got the cash value keeps on growing. It's coming in, around 5% is the number I use to calculate these numbers. So we've got $44,535 available. And at this point, we're 3 years 4 months into it. We owe $11,307 on the truck. So what we're going to do is we're going to take another loan, a policy loan, okay, against this cash value, and we are going to pay that truck off. All right. So we have cash value available. We took this loan. We still have this cash value, but this is how much more we can borrow. Okay. So it always goes against what you owe. And then so once we knock this out, now the $785 a month gets added on to the 2020, and we're going to knock that loan down even faster, right? So now we're 2020 a month plus a $785 truck loan that we don't have to pay anymore, gets us up to $2805. Okay. We're still at year 3 years, 4 months here. This is after we paid the truck off. All right. Truck and car, they're both down here. They're free and clear. Okay. Now we're putting 2805 against this 11,307 loan. 4 months. That loan is repaid. Our cash value is at 45,663. All right. Now we keep on going. You got another premium due. Okay. We don't have anything in savings, but look at our cash value. We've got $45,000 available, right? Take a loan out. Take a $21,000 loan, puts it back into there, takes it up to 66,663 cash value. We've got a $21,000 loan, 8 more months at 2805 a month. That thing's paid off. We're at 4 years, 4 months altogether. All right. At that point, we're at about $69,000. So we're less than 4.5 years into this. And could you imagine in 4.5 years, you've got a free and clear car, a free and clear truck, and you've got almost $70,000 that you can do anything with. You don't have to ask anybody if you can take a loan. You just, for mine, I've got a Mass Mutual policy. I get online, I type a couple things up, and they send me a check, or they direct deposit into my checking account. I've got some other policies for my kids. I don't think they watch these videos anyway, so I don't care, but they don't know about them. But I've got some other policies for my kids through Penn Mutual. I don't think it's as easy to take a loan. You got to call your agent for that, but I haven't taken a loan for that. I'm just kind of letting those ride and let those build for them. But almost $70,000 in cash value. What if it's time to buy a new car? Okay, well, you got $70,000 you can take a loan against, and you're paying $2805 a month to repay that loan. Hopefully you don't go buy a $70,000 vehicle, but the option is yours if that's what you want to do. And then you make your $2805, you make those payments back. Just always make sure that you got enough in there to pay the next year's premium of the $21,000. Okay, so I ran the numbers out. When I started this, my policy, I was 39 years old. All right, maybe you're younger, maybe you're older, I don't know. Maybe you start one for your kids, right? So if you do this for 10 years, you'll have cash value available of $300,000. 20 years, it's $760. In 30, you're $1.5 million, and in 40, you're 2.7. Okay, there I'll be dead, so I don't really run any farther than that. But the cash value keeps growing. By this time, you've got more in dividends. I think it was right around here. You put in with the $21,000 a year. So yeah, that's $210,000 every 10. Yeah, 21,000. That's 210 every 10. So once you get down to here, I mean, you're over $1 million of just dividends that you've been paid. That you put hardly anything into this stuff. So it really does grow, and the earlier you get started, the higher these numbers will get, and the better it goes. So like I said, I've got my kids in on these. They don't know about them. They're not this big, obviously. I don't have that much money, but I think I just got a bill today. It's about $4,000. So $4,000 per kid. I pay that once a year, and I just let this stuff roll and roll and roll. And my youngest is 10, so when he's 50, he's not gonna have that much because it's not that big, but it's gonna be a nice big chunk, and he will always have his bank available. All right. So and when you take a loan against this bank, it's a loan. It's not a taxable event. It is not income. Okay. Uncle Sam keeps his fingers out of loans. All right, because you have to pay him back. Here you get taxed to death. So we still got our money that comes into the bank, but look, it comes in. And we got 7,000 coming in. We still got our mortgage going out. I mean, you got these kind of numbers. You can pay your mortgage off and add the $1,500 back to your bank. That's I guess the ultimate goal, right? Is get out of this bank. Stop paying all this interest. We saved how much interest by paying these off, paying the credit cards off early. We got out of that debt. So let's take the banking function back. You still pretty much have to take your paycheck, and that gets direct deposited to the bank, but boom, as soon as it comes in, send it right to your bank. Now you got control of it, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. Let me know if you got any questions. I always happy to help. I am getting some questions from time to time that helps me make another video. I won't I won't say your name, but if you want some help, let me know, and I'll make another video. You can probably helping a lot more people. All right, thanks for watching.